Hey, what's happening, good people? I have my first ESP on this channel. Well, technically an ESP LTD. And interestingly enough, it's not really my first ESP because I already actually filmed this video. So I figured I might as well talk about it while unboxing. Whenever you're filming, make sure that your battery doesn't overheat or die down because I was talking to a camera yesterday for 30 minutes that wasn't running. Had all the wonderful sound in the DAW, but yeah, so I had repackaged this because this is a super chat, super thanks guitar. If you know anything about it, we do live streams every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And anybody that does like a super chat, super thanks, we take it, put it in a kitty, and we pick out a guitar, and then eventually we give it away. You don't have to participate in the giving to win, but it's a good way to give back to the community. So I had this thing all packaged up, so hopefully this video is going to go a lot quicker, even though with my rambling right here. But we did all of the checking of the dead frets, where I just run up and down the board, playing every single note. No dead frets, and then just checked out, did all the bends and stuff like that with the choking out, and none of that occurred either. So we're already like so many minutes ahead of schedule. So right now I'll cut to all the geeky type of specs. If you want, you can speed past them, but I've even condensed them down to about 5 minutes. They used to be like 12, 15 minutes, but if you could let me know for specs down in the comment section below. Do you prefer them in millimeters, inches? It doesn't matter if they are in millimeters or inches. I prefer millimeters, not to taint the comments down below, or you just don't care about the specs. Also, if you see the specs there and there's something in there that you don't see that you like, let me know. But I try to get as much as possible and get you on your way as soon as possible. So now here's all the specs. And I know a lot of people say, but Brian, why do you go over the specs? I don't even care about them. Well, that's why there's chapters down there, so you can go past it. But some people do care about the specs. And I try to do something that's a little bit different than every other content creator so that you can go watch their straight up video on just how the guitar plays. They probably play it better, but then you could see if there's anything wrong with it as far as frets rocking, necks being twisted, and so on and so forth. So the weight is 3.52 kilograms or 7.76 pounds. The action on the bass side is 1.25. On the treble side is 1.5. The pickup height on the bass side is 4. On the treble side is 4.5. The nut slot depth, starting off with the low E is 0.98 millimeters. The A is 0.70 millimeters, the D is 0.56 millimeters, the G is 0.55 millimeters, the B is 0.51 millimeters, and the E is 0.45 millimeters. Check your screen for the respective in inches. The radius is 12 inches. The nut width is 42.15 millimeters or 1.659 inches. The first fret width is 43.42 millimeters or 1.709 inches. The depth is 19.11 millimeters or 0.752 inches. The 12th fret, the width is 53.39 millimeters or 2.102 inches. The depth is 22.60 millimeters or 0.890 inches. The fret width is 2.76 millimeters or 0.108 inches. The height is 1.61 millimeters or 0.063 inches. So we had to do a little adjustment to the neck to make it flat, so that when we get to checking the fret rocking a little bit, that it's kind of true. As far as the seating over here, the feeler gauge we use is a 0.06 millimeter gauge, and it never went under any of the frets, so they're all seated properly. Now, the frets, they're like a little poking, but not too crazy as far as like wanting to adjust the fret ends. I might not do it right away, let it settle for a little while and see if they get worse or not, but
Sometimes it's just the pads of the fingers, I think, that protrude too much to give us that. It's really when it feels in your hand. But as far as the fret rocking, the first color that we used is green. Sorry for anybody that can't determine the difference between the two. The slightest minimal rocking going on. Nothing to really worry about. I really wouldn't even address it. And even the second color that you saw, the fourth dot, and then a dot coming up right about here, yeah, I wouldn't really even concern myself with that unless it affected the playability. And checking underneath the cavity, and there really was, nothing under there, just to see if there was any routing or anything like that. Just dust it off and clear it for whoever wins this guitar. And checking underneath the humbucker and see how well it's taken care of. It looks like it's pretty good. And then the grounding. Everything was grounded properly as it should be, as you would expect.
The resistance is 15, then its split is 7.4. The inductance is 8.24, and split is 3.74. The capacitance is 1.3, and split it's 2.8. All right, everything is all tuned up now. This is pretty much straight out of the box review. I don't do any real adjustments. I did have to straighten the neck out to do the fret rocking part of the geeky specs out there that you saw. So I had returned it to flat as possible, and obviously the strings are now Ernie Ball cobalts. So take that for what it's worth, whether you could tell the tonal difference or not. So, but there's only one particular knob here, the volume knob. So I'll just show you really quickly the swells of the volume, both single coil and split. So with one knob in particular, just the volume knob, you kind of have to maybe get used to using an EQ pedal to change things up tone-wise. A volume pedal is not really necessary since you have one knob. You don't have to worry about which knob you're grabbing. You don't even have to look at it. I think that these are actually pretty good coil splits for what it's worth. A lot of times they feel like they get so weak that it's not really usable. I think it's pretty usable. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play the same thing through all the same positions, coil split, non-coil split, and I'll do just really quickly clean, drive, and a more high gain setting just so you can kind of get a tone of it. So, and then we'll just noodle around a little bit. All right, and then just some little noodling around and try to put down below what if it's coil split or not, because when you get into higher gain, it kind of gets a little iffy on what's happening. That was just a little using of an EQ pedal. Not even sure what setting it's on. I got memory 4. I forget what that is. But yeah, see, just to show you how with the single humbucker and no tone, that it really kind of lends to using more of an EQ pedal if you want to adjust your. I think the EQ pedal is one of the most highly underrated pedals out there. And this is one of those guitars that can really show it to you. So, yeah, keep on going. I'm going for. Well, there she is in all her glory. So overall, the fret tangs, not really that much of an issue. I feel like that I kind of feel them a bit, but also I feel sometimes that we overreact because the big fat pads of our fingers kind of protrude a little bit. But every once in a while, you feel like a slight something that could take a being taken down to. depending on your playing. Like, it's not a cheese grater like some people refer to it. I've never actually really had, I'd rather have more than less. Less has more potential problems, I think, than that. So, but again, this guitar right now, Prime Day deal is like 265 or something like that. So that's pretty crazy. Yeah. Other than that, the humbucker might not be to somebody's liking, but I honestly really think that I could get along with this humbucker just fine with using EQ pedal. It definitely, to me, makes it better, but you could slap in some really high gain, really cool Seymour Duncan or a Dylan Fox tone or something like that. So, and I've never really been that much of a tone person anyway, knob person. So like, I don't miss not having a tone knob. So it's kind of cool. You can't, well, you would have to route it, but there, if you saw the geeky parts, you remove this, it's just a pickguard covering the solid wood. So, but all in all, I think it's a pretty dang good budget range guitar that supports a brand that, you know, has, you know, a bigger following, a bigger name, things like that. So if you would like to get one, hopefully they're still available. There are links down below in the description. You've all been a fantastic audience, and as always, stay tuned.